Hey everybody, and this is Tsto-ne, and I'm making this video because a friend of mine asked me to explain how the Autoresolve calculator works, and this is the reason why I'm doing this. I've wrote the Autoresolve calculator a while back, and it must have been a very long time ago, at least a year, and it's basically the tool which I use to um, calculate the Autoresolve values for X division and how balance the whole thing. So before we get started, the Autoresolve calculator works on some premises. The first one is that uh, all value for alien craft is in the actually alien craft, so alien weapons do not have any Autoresolve values. And the second one is that there is a different code available uh, against targets which can roll and which can't roll, and they are the same, so they don't play any kind of role in the calculator. They both have the same value. So this is the title, and pretty proud of this thing. And here's the aircraft spreadsheet. So let's go through one by one. What you have to know is that all same colored fields usually belong together and should be like um, calculated together. So you know that the green ones all belong to the same category of calculation, and all the other colors behave in the same way. You can actually write in something here, but it doesn't matter. So for instance, you can say I'm calculating, what do we go with, F17. Can write it in just as a reminder, but it's not necessary. The first field is the value of the aircraft, and for the F17 it's 260. And then it just goes on. The first row is just the cannon slots, and the second one is the missile, and the third one is the heavy torpedo. Can just go in for the autocannon, and then let's give him Soundwinder 100, and that's it. So, and we usually have two of them, so everything again. And here you can see the total, what it counts. So let's give them an enemy. So for instance, a fighter with 450. And then you can see that it's way off the chart. So 2 F17 can beat a fighter pretty easily. One more thing is the normal missile and heavy torpedo. This is a value you can actually set in the game config. It's right here. This is the X Division one, and it uses Autoresolve heavy missile escort bonus of 0.25 and an Autoresolve normal missile evade penalty of 0.5. And the vanilla values are a bit different. The missile value is 0.8, so we changed it up a bit. So if you want to actually calculate for the vanilla game, then you just can change it to 0.8, and as you can see, the value changes. But we are doing this for X division, so 0.5 is the value to go. This is a single fighter, and as the color indicates, all these values are like linked together. And here are the questions. If the question you should be asking is if the main UFO can evade, or if it's a full interceptor squad. So for instance, a full interceptor squad would be something like this, where you can see that the chance is pretty much 0%, so between 0 and 1%, so nothing to boast about. So if either of those questions should be answered with a yes, then you should write yes in this. If this isn't the case, for instance, with a scout, on run 3, then you should put in no. Yes, this is very important. If as long as this is yes, you don't have to check the yellow questions below. But as soon as this becomes a no, then the second fields have to be correct. So you can't write yes in because that would actually change the calculation. So this is the main question that you have to ask, if the main UFO can evade or not. And in case it can do that, then you should put in a yes and it will change the calculations. In case it can not evade, let's just add another F17, just so we get a better calculation. So as you can see, if 3 F17 fight against 1 scout, then the chance to win is 95%. But let's just say it does not fight alone, but has an escort of 2 fighter. And then the calculation, of course, goes down. So as you can see, the F17 do no longer cut the chase. So let's replace them with something else. For instance, with 2 Foxtrot is 300. And with an avalanche torpedo 400. So as you can see, our chances go up, but not by a lot. It's basically not designed to actually be able to win with any kind of squad against a UFO which can evade. So, but of course the escort here in this case can evade, so you have to put a yes in it. And as you can see, the value goes down. So for every escort you have to put in the correct value if it can evade or not, and then you just simply go down. Okay, here's the question: can it evade? Yes, yes. The first one obviously can't evade, otherwise you would put here yes in it and don't have to fill out the other form. So it can evade. Let's go with escort 1, it can evade. Then if the main UFO can't evade but the escorts can, then the escorts are going to hack 1 slot of um, of the attacking squad. So in this case, it would be heavy torpedo. It would be 400. And then you asked if it's a heavy torpedo. Um, in which case, in our case, it is a heavy torpedo, and then there would be a 100 points penalty for using a heavy torpedo. Or if it wouldn't, then it would be a no, and then it would be a 200 one. Yes, with 100 no. Where does this get used in the calculations? I haven't done this in years. Pretty complicated what I wrote there. All I know that the code is correct, so yes and no should be correct in both cases. But I'm wondering why it is a yes and a no. Oops. Of course I can't change that. Heavy torpedo. No, 200. Does this get deducted or... Let's make it simple. Let's see what it is. So if it is a heavy torpedo, the value is 2,235. And if it is not, then the value goes up, which should not be the case. And the problem with this is the problem with this is that it's actually the inverse. Okay. Now, okay, yeah, that was in the old calculation. I must have changed it. This is the correct one, so it's the inverse 1 minus the value which is here, but it can't go beyond 1 because then it just flips out, the whole calculation flips out. Okay, so we got the heavy torpedo here, and yeah, in this case it's exactly as it is. If it is a heavy torpedo, then the penalty is higher than if it is not a heavy one. In which case it is. We both have heavy torpedoes in this, and from the 400 points, 300 get detected because the escorts can evade and have a higher value. And as you can see, our chances with an F-17 and 2 Foxtrot against a scout with 2 escorts is about O, lower than O. But what if we add an Osiris? Would be 300. And we give him, what do we give him? We give him the best weapon we can give him, 100. Scatter laser in the same phase, and we give them 2 of them, which is still nothing. So no way we can beat it. Let's make a real example, and that is a Corvette. Let's go with one MiG and an avalanche torpedo against one Corvette. As you can see, the chances to win are which is to be expected. But if we add another one, then our chances are around 70%. So that's quite good. 2 Foxtrot can beat a Corvette if they engage well enough. Bomber Corvette, Bomber Corvette the chances are a bit worse, around 50, but still. But if we add another one, then we get well beyond 100%. So 3 Foxtrot can beat a Corvette or a Bomber Corvette with 100% chance. As you can see, the values are pretty good. I think so. These buttons are macros, which I have deactivated for now because they cause instability in the file, and that's just not what I need. And I can, when I was really working hard on this, then I used the buttons a lot because it's just easier to copy, paste it this way, and clear it this way, and the instability was worth it. Yeah, that's how the calculator works. Should we do one more example? What can we do? Oh yes. There was a question about why the Fury has O, and that is simply because of the value of the 2 heavy torpedo slots. So, a missile Corvette. Let's make a missile Corvette. One last example and we're done. 7, 8, and the Fury has O, but two weapon slots. We will give him 2 neutrino torpedoes. So, as you can see, 1 Fury versus 1 missile Corvette does not cut it. Let's add the second one. As you can see, 90% chance. This is just so. How would 2 Furies fare against something else? Something like a carrier or a supply ship. Now let's go with a supply ship. That's barely more, so it goes down a bit with still great chance to beat the supply ship. But let's go with a carrier, and as you can see, there is no way that 2 furries can beat 1 carrier, but we can add another one, and then the chances are good again. So I hope you liked it. That's above 70%. So I hope you liked it, and I explained how to use the Autoresolve calculator, and that this has to be the inverse, and I'll see you soon.